How do you talked about preparing as if they will have indeed, but considering this is a game time decision, what made you realize?
We still prepare as he's playing. I think you prepare for the worst, hope for the best, but preparing like he'll play. I think he'll play. It's just my gut. So you have to go with your gut sometimes.
A lot's been made about the 10 games that the Sixers starting five has played together. Is that a challenge for you in really how you would game plan against a team that you just don't have that much film on?
No, it is a little bit more difficult. We're trying to find games where they all play it, so that's makes it a little bit more difficult. I'd say that, but I'm sure Brett would prefer that everybody was healthy and they had their group. But I was thinking about it today. I think we went through a similar circumstance. We had a lot of guys out, had to change on the fly, didn't have a stable starting lineup for a large part of the season. So it's just part of this league and part of what you have to deal with.
Any nerves or emotions just as your first game as a head coach?
No, man, excited. I think it's we'll try to enjoy it. It's a nervous excitement. So listen, playing in Philly, all the history here, not only basketball history but sports history. It's a special place to start it. Great feeling.
Okay, there was a big gap between the first three games that you played against these guys and the last one, and then they had a lineup change in between them with the trades and so on. What did they do differently in the last game to control your guards better than they did in the first three games?
I think the scheme was pretty similar. I do think we're coming off that long road trip, so I'm not going to put too much stock into that game. Obviously, we looked at the tape and watched it, but didn't see any scheme changes at the normal, the normal defense that they play. And I know, come playoff time, that defense will be ratcheted up. I think it'll be at another level. So we obviously have to be able to deal with their athleticism and their physicality. So hoping we're ready for it.
Kenny, what has the addition of Tobias Harris done for this team? I think you've probably known him for a long time. You're from the same area, and a versatile guy like that.
I don't know, gives him another all-star, obviously, but stabilizer, and more shooting, which around great players is vital. Around Embiid, around Simmons, now you got a great shooter, and also a guy that's versatile, right? He can play pick and roll. So, but the shooting piece is huge. He's made himself into a great shooter. That obviously prevents us from helping off him. We got to stay attached to him.
Kenny, you mentioned the last game, they did put bigger guys on your guards, Simmons and Butler, than they did in the earlier meetings. Do you think that was, the ineffectiveness was more plus it was the end of the road trip?
Yeah, I put it in that context. I think you can look at it both ways. Our smaller, quicker guys on bigger wings, which we don't mind. But I do think I'm going to take that with a grain of salt, that game, and I think tonight will be the real indication of what they do when we go out there as a tip and how they match up, and we're going to have to be ready to make adjustments in what we do.
Coach, with so many of your key players during that first playoff game, how curious are you to see how they handle the early stages of this game? Yeah,
that's the fun of it, right? See how pretty much 9 guys who don't have a playoff experience, including the head coach. So it's sometimes what you don't know doesn't hurt you, right? Like we're going into it as a little bit naive but excited, and hopefully can make up for it with our lack of experience, with our energy and our competitive spirit.
Is it tougher to play zone in the playoffs when the team can prepare for it more? And also, what did you see from the zone when you played them here?
It's funny, we haven't played a ton of zone against the Sixers, but I'll leave that that reasoning to myself. I think it's part of our defensive package. I don't think it's by any means the main part of it. I think it's something we can go to. But listen, this it's a pattern game, right? They run their system, they run their patterns. throwing a zone out there once in a while to mess with their schemes. I don't think it's a bad idea, but I'm not sure if that's going to be a main piece in the series.
Before the game, Brett said that he thought the series was going to be a fist fight. How do you view it going in?
You know, the head coach of Philly, saying that, it doesn't surprise me. I was thinking today, I took a run along the river there and thinking about, what do you think about? You think about Philly sports and all the tradition and I was thinking when I was younger, I wasn't a huge hockey fan, but for some reason I liked the Philadelphia Flyers, and the reason they were what, the Broad Street Bullies, right? And they had the Enforcer, and I love Bobby Clark with the no teeth. And you don't know why as a kid, right? I'm a New York kid. Islanders were great. My brother liked the Rangers. That was probably why. But it's just funny how you think, and that's, we know physicality is, it's number one on our whiteboard. If we're not physical, we can have all the great schemes and play beautiful offense. But if we don't rebound the ball, if we don't come with physicality against their level of physicality, we won't have a chance.
On the topic of the atmosphere in Philly, what is it like to play in this building as the opposing team? Do you have impressions of the fans or anything that
Oh man, it's you think of the great sports cities. Philly's a great sports city. So, New York is too, but Philly, this is special. I think of Mo Cheeks and Dr. J and Moses Malone and all those great games, great Philly teams, and obviously the fans have garnered a reputation that's well earned, and I think it's great. I think it's gonna be a great experience for our guys and for me to really experience it firsthand.
Everyone, thank you.
Thank you, everybody.